That's why I'm the king around here.
Who is king?
King! I am king!
Child, please.
Someone get this jigaboo away from me.
Hey y'all, damn. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Talking Through. This is Talking Through the Doc, actually. This is a documentary. And basically these people had some dookie issues, and I just want to know what happened, because ain't no way. They was on a cruise. It's kind of probably why I won't never go on a cruise. Well, I can't say never, but the Titanic, like this, like it's just not a good track record in my opinion. They ain't paying us. They're not paying us. Yeah. Hopefully we can get a Netflix deal soon. Oh, Valentine's Day.
Them helicopters was on there for the celebration.
They were saying it was somebody,
Sometimes there are those scenarios that come along that just
bachelorette
grab
party
everyone's
and all that.
attention. I mean, I remember just the rush to get there
Imagine that.
and
That's
knowing
crazy.
that we wanted to start getting eyeballs on this giant story. We had camera people, correspondents, photojournalists. We had crews on boats. We had a helicopter up in the air. We couldn't get enough. America couldn't get enough.
3, 2, 1, right under us.
And it's just sitting still.
Right now we're getting our first look at that stricken cruise ship.
It's the fact that y'all done tilted that plane like that. Oh, that's helicopter. Okay. I was about to say. No, that was a plane.
Our helicopter captured passengers lying on the deck, spelling out the word.
Oh, wow.
What the is happening on this cruise
Oh,
ship?
wow. Spelling out help with your bodies with strangers is wild.
We just love
It gotta be so good.
the food, the pool, the water slide. I mean,
And it looked
yeah,
fun.
everything was great.
That looks so fun.
We're having the most fun. So nice to just really uncheck from the real world.
We're having a great time. We were like, this is awesome. And then the lights go up.
Nope.
Oh my god.
My soul will leave my body right then and there.
My soul was right
We're stuck on a cruise ship that is
Cause
dead
what
in
you
the
mean?
water.
Marine vacation has fast become a nightmare for thousands of passengers.
I'm telling you, it got bad fast.
Suddenly, everyone's out for themselves.
It was terrifying. All of a sudden, we were like, oh shit, the ship is on fire.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my god, this is it. We're going down.
Oh, wasn't that damn
It wasn't
fire?
the fire that was the problem. It was the freaking toilets.
There's shit and piss on the floors in the cafeteria.
Oh my god.
There's only so much a toilet can take.
It was just a floating petri dish.
Oh my god.
Oh
It's
no.
a slowly unfolding nightmare that you couldn't stop.
This gonna make me
get
sick,
off
bro.
the ship.
This gonna make me nauseous. No.
Poop cruise is crazy.
A dookie cruise.
The first time that I heard about going on a cruise was a simple phone call from my fiance saying, hey, my family's going on a cruise, let's do it together. Everything's taken care of. And it was an easy yes. The itinerary was 2 days at sea. And then we were going to stop at Cozumel, Mexico. Then we were going to get back out to sea and have a nice day back to Galveston. It's going to be great. But
That don't even sound bad.
Because I was going to be spending a lot of time with my fiance's father.
But I ain't gonna lie, 2 days at sea.
I just asked him for permission
And you're not.
to marry her. And so, of course, I wanted him to
You
like me.
said that type of shit is.
You know, I wanted him to be excited that I was the man who was going to marry his daughter.
I went on the cruise with the one intent, and that was for me and Becca to have daddy-daughter time. I just recently got divorced, and you know that was a very difficult time.
My dad's my best friend, so I did miss him, and I was excited to spend time with him for sure. Definitely.
So wait a minute. I have a question.
That's the ship. That's the ship we're going
So they married
It's like a building.
or they engaged or whatever. Why did
I don't think you
Why the
realize
daddy
how
and the
big
daughter
cruise
doing
lines
the
are
interview together and
until
the
you're standing
man
in front
doing it
of
by
it,
himself?
realizing you're standing in front of a
They
skyscraper
broke up
on its
because of the
side,
cruise.
and it's floating. It was humongous.
How can we figure it out?
When you walk in, there's just like grand foyer with like
But,
a spiral
I mean, it wasn't his
staircase and
fault.
chandeliers. You walk over here and it's an arcade. Welcome to the
I feel like I
casino.
want to go to
Suddenly you're in
She
this
invited
grand
him.
hall with
Yeah,
unlimited
I said, hopefully we
food.
gonna figure out what's going on.
And then there's a theater where you can see live entertainment. And then suddenly you're out on deck and like there's gigantic chess pieces and like people enjoying like having a good time in a spa, and it's just seems like everywhere you look there's something to do.
I was getting married. It was my bachelorette party. I make sure I don't flash anybody. We all talked about it and discussed and decided that a cruise would be a fun way to celebrate. I remember being so excited. It's a cruise. It's gonna be perfect. We put our luggage down and we went straight up to the bar.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go to some kind of safety briefing, but I remember being like, we're not going to need this information. Like, what are the chances we need to remember a muster station, right?
We wanted to get the party started. Let's take a selfie.
Y'all turned up. Y'all ain't on the cruise now. I mean,
What can we live is crazy.
And then they
Yeah,
come
taking
the big
shots for
horn
it.
and you're like, okay, it's the start of the
I hope
great
them was fake
vacation.
shots. Cause what y'all got going on? Y'all cool?
Crazy excited.
The first thing we did was
I would love to go on a
you know,
cruise.
grab a drink, go out on deck. Sit, enjoy, have a chat with my father-in-law,
Act a
let
dog.
him know I'm a good guy.
We were in the sun all day, drinking cocktails. It was amazing.
I remember walking up to the bar and suddenly this voice breaks through the ceiling and it's this like positive British woman. Hi, it's Jen, so excited. Yeah, she was great.
Good afternoon. Welcome on board the beautiful Carnival Triumph.
Jen was the voice of the Triumph.
Jen. She was Vacation Barbie.
Come on, join us. Come around the table. Hit that music, good chippy. Take it away. I loved my job. I absolutely loved every aspect of it. I genuinely really like the passengers. I've always said this, people are just there.
For the kitchen, you have to work at least 70 hours a week, sometimes more. Initially, it was really difficult for me because when I came from India, I was not used to working so hard. But at the same time, we had a lot of fun.
Oh, and there's so much fun on the cruise ship when you are a crew. There's lots of sex on the cruise ship. Damn! So much sex you don't want to know.
Not you.
Everything is hard
Bop
and
on the
fun.
cruise ship.
Why should we get in the kitchen? What you cooking? Why should we get in the kitchen? What you
Arriving at Cosmo was awesome because it's colorful and there's music and people welcome you when you get off the boat. So yeah, we were ready to continue the great time.
I'd be a flight attendant before I'd be a damn
playing and laughing and having a great time.
It was perfect. Amazing.
When she's happy, I'm happy.
It was
I
a
don't know,
great time.
today the flight
I was getting
attendants.
along with my father-in-law.
What you gotta worry about today as a
we
flight
had some
attendant? I don't know.
wonderful food. We
Oh, that
stuffed
looked
our
good.
faces.
Honestly, we're old. We went to that one not used to this stuff.
We were drinking harder in Cozumel than we were on the boat.
This was absolutely the bachelorette party that I had dreamed of.
when we walked back to the ship, we realized that we've only got 1 day left. Now you're headed back home.
Everything went perfect up to that point. I mean, it really was. Couldn't ask for any better.
I literally don't remember getting back on board. So I could have been crawling, I could have been carried. I don't remember that part.
We left our dignity in Cozumel.
Oh, God.
I mean, as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out.
So they was stranded on the way back. And it was supposed to be the
I
last
just
day.
remember opening my eyes and like looking around, pitch black. Like, what is going on?
The noise is coming from like a speaker in the ceiling. And so you're staring at it. And then suddenly you hear Alpha Team, Alpha Team, Alpha Team.
Alpha Team, Alpha Team, Alpha Team, attention, Alpha Team.
Waking up suddenly like that, your first instinct is like, I need water. I don't feel good. This is so loud. Shut it off, right? Somebody needs to turn it off.
I'm nervous. I have no idea what Alpha Team Alert means.
I was not in my own cabin when the alarm went. You know, it happens.
Like, girl,
I was in this guy's cabin who works in the engineering room when I see him jumping off bed, putting on his overall. I was like, okay, something is going on.
You just a hoochie mama. Nobody care about. Girl.
I was in the kitchen working night shift.
Why are they getting her
At that time, I thought
perspective?
it was a drill.
I was being a hoe.
But within few seconds, I saw smoke coming out from the drain of the sink.
Excuse me?
All of us were like, what the fuck?
I went up to the bridge, and as soon as I walked in, I knew this is something serious. People were on phones and radios and getting alarms going off.
People were like running, banging on doors. You could hear the panic. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is the Titanic. We're going down. Where is our muster station?
I put a couple of the radios.
Oh,
on
now
just to
now
sort of hear
now you
what's
care.
going on from up on the bridge.
Girl.
I could hear them calling for the fire team to head down to deck 0. And then a lot of training, you know, can prepare you for it's like a numb feeling. You know, maybe I should not admit this, but you know, I can't really swim.
Once we got up to the leader deck, the first thing I remember seeing, it's like etched in my brain, is seeing the big red, thin, there were flames just shooting out of it. And that's really when I woke up and was like, oh shit, the ship is on fire.
Assault.
The captain came over and said,
Assault
"There's
with
a
a
fire in the
sugary
engine
weapon."
room." Then you're like,
I told them blue ones up
are we
last
going
night.
down? Are we going to have to get the lifeboats? Is this general emergency? I mean, is this it?
Fire on a boat is
You
even
know
more
it.
terrifying than a fire on land. It can spread everywhere and there's nothing you can do. There's no firefighters that can come and save you.
I just stood there waiting for the captain to tell me what was going on. He said, there's been a fire in one of the 6.
Why would they do that?
Suddenly it went dark on the bridge.
Netflix is some nefarious people.
What the hell's going on?
Netflix worse than the cameraman on Maury.
Then we audibly heard the AC cut out.
Oh no. I would really died right there.
Well, power goes, that's it. Everything's out. You know, from the little things like making a cup of tea or a coffee or a slice of toast to the whole propulsion of the ship. So technically we are just floating dead in the water.
Now,
I need to eat
it's
snacks
obvious
while I
there's no
talk
control
about
of the
this.
boat.
I remember
My
the
back.
feeling of uncertainty, not knowing what was going to happen. I was terrified.
I immediately turned on my cell phone to text my fiance, and I quickly realized that the cellular was out too.
Excuse me?
We've had power cuts before, and engineers go and do whatever they do to turn it back on. So I just thought once the engine room cools down, they'll go in, they'll turn everything back on, and then we'll be back to normal in an hour or so. In the meantime, though, it was like, what are we going to do? What's the immediate problems that we can work on now? And they, of course, were lights. There's no lights, but the emergency lighting was on, so that wasn't like a major issue. Air conditioning, people, if they're inside, can go up to the open decks, also not too bad. And then somebody realised that the toilets weren't working. They needed electricity, so they weren't going to flush, which is, with thousands of guests, a major issue. We had to come up with a plan of what to
Because
do.
I am concerned.
Initially, it was, the idea of being abroad. Like, for a man, it's okay, but not for a woman. They could fall in. Half jokingly, I was like, well, we can do a number one in the shower, which seems like a really feasible option. So it was, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
Do number one in the shower.
And then
For number two.
for the number two, that was definitely a trickier problem than number one.
You don't say.
Very important information, folks. As you probably know by now, the toilets are not flushing, and it's going to start causing a little bit of a problem in a short while.
I remember
So
this.
come up with a plan. So, folks, we do need to do a number one, everybody. You can do it in the shower. And we do need to do a number two. What we're going to do is we're going to deliver some red bags to all of the bathrooms on board.
No.
And we do need to do a number two. We ask that you please do it in the red bag and drop it off in the bins in the corridors. Thank you, folks, and I'll be back with any more updated info.
What the fuck?
You want me to what?
Excuse me?
Duke it in the bag.
I'm not doing
And
that.
drop it off.
Like, it was just
And leave it
I was like,
outside.
what world are we
Leave it
living
in the
in?
hall.
This can't be real.
Somebody gonna come
I
collect
never
it.
thought in my weirdest dream that I will see a day when I will have to poop in the red bag.
I know it was hideous, but that's the only option that we had. Do it in
She
a
said,
plastic
"Look,
bag,
don't try
tie the
that."
bag, put it in a bin, and then dispose of them down below.
I'm trying to help y'all
It really
now.
was a genius plan.
This one broke.
As soon as I saw the red bags,
You got
I
it.
was like,
You got a piece of it?
oh no. Oh no.
It ain't in here.
No.
I was like, red bag? No way. Not
It's
happening.
missing the whole thing.
I immediately started taking Imodium.
That's how I started taking the
At
Imodium.
that point in time,
So I was taking the
we
what?
needed to let
Imodium.
Carnival head office know what was happening on board.
Yeah, Pepto,
Fortunately, we
something.
had a satellite phone that worked. And it became my responsibility to keep that communication going with Shoreside.
When I heard about the fire on the Triumph, it was immediately crisis mode. You have to remember, a cruise ship is the biggest machine on the planet. And so when things go wrong, they typically go wrong in a big way. In the event of an emergency like this, the first step is to put out a holding
That's what
statement,
we eating these.
very short, and distribute that to the media.
No coffee.
Something to the effect of the
And
Carnival
this so everybody
Triumph.
get,
has
everybody
experienced
drinking tonight. It's
a
not
fire in the
cold.
engine room.
Nobody
The ship
knows.
is
So
just
this
without
happened
propulsion
at
right
5
now.
in the morning.
We're working to
Right.
fix it.
Just so everybody
You did
get
not mention
comfortable.
that the toilets were not working You give them what
Get a
they
piece of
need,
cake. Have some ice
and then you
cream.
Everything's fine.
The first time
We have
CNN
pizza.
people in the newsroom would have heard anything about Carnival, it would have been through this press release. It said there had been a fire on board the Triumph. It was contained. You know, some things aren't working, but for the most part, everyone's okay. I'm thinking
Extra
we're fucking
creamy.
CNN. We've got the State of the Union, Iraq,
Tacos.
Pyongyang, Vatican. The Pope resigning is a story,
Everything has
okay?
shoes.
So there's easily eye rolls over a cruise story at first. I don't think so. I would imagine some local affiliates picked up the story, but not national news.
The Carnival cruise ship Triumph is drifting along.
I was at home when my phone rang, and it was my friend from work. Oh, did you hear about the fire on the Carnival Triumph? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear any of that. My daughter's on that ship with her daddy. Instantly, the anxiety and the frustration and the fear came over me. I couldn't get her on the phone. I couldn't talk to her at all. I was frantically trying to find information on what had happened on that ship. That's my baby out there. I didn't know if she was okay.
As a 12-year-old, it's very scary to not be able to talk to your mom and tell her everything that's going on and tell her, you know, how you feel. And, you know, you just want both of your parents there to hug you and hold you, and you can't have that.
That was a different mom. That was a different daddy.
I thought so. I wasn't sure.
I'm like, why do they show it like that?
I
though?
thought maybe you had caught something I didn't get.
I just want to know why they showed it like that. Like, they made it seem like he was
normal, you know, as we could. But we had the hot
Oh,
sun
her
glaring
father-in-law.
down on us. You know, trying to find some cold water.
I mean, my
just
father.
rummaging around the ship, trying to figure out, like, okay, what do we eat? What do we drink? And why the hell isn't the bar open?
Yeah, that was
Inside the boat, it was even worse. I mean, it'll just suffocate you.
They
There's nothing
finna,
stirring
they
nowhere
finna kick
at
the
all.
bucket, the same bucket that they got a doo-doo with.
I
This
sound
lady
like
talking about some
so
damn, where's the
claustrophobic.
liquor? We
But
want
that's
shots! Whee!
I have
Nah,
never
it's
needed
not lit.
to do a number one, that's Lee, this bad in my life. And so I was like, y'all, I need to pee. Does somebody want to come with me? Because you knew it was dark. Yeah. So you kind of want like a buddy system. I don't want to go alone. It's too scary.
And then one of the other guests on the boat was like, this is what you need to do. So we had taken the beacon out of the life jacket. He told us to pour like soda on it so it gets wet and it starts to light up.
And so the whole time you have like this disco tech going on while you're doing it. It was a very bizarre experience. This is the first cruise that I don't think this is normal. And then I was like, I thought it was rinse off, like, ugh. It was just horrible.
Like, it's pretty disgusting.
For real? Oh my god.
Nah, that's just some pee. Y'all ain't worried
So
about
about
what you need to be
1:30,
worried
the
about.
temperature finally dropped down in the engine control room, and fire safety, the safety team were able to get in and inspect what happened inside. That's when the chief engineer discovered that this is a lot more serious than first imagined.
Oh no.
They came back and said that pretty much the fire had burned through all the power cables to the whole ship, so there was no hope of getting the power back. That was it. Your heart just drops. Like, what do we do now?
How did the fire start though?
Was to call up to Progreso, Mexico, the closest port, and get a tugboat to come out, start pulling us in.
That's when we heard the new plan, which is we're going to get tugged back to Progreso tomorrow. So this is not the time to go to the bathroom in a trash can. I was determined. I am not going to use the red bag. I'm going to make it.
So you gonna make yourself
As we got
not be
closer to
regular.
dusk, as we got closer
Just
to
so you
the
don't gotta
end of the
get
first
back.
day, the first night is coming, we realized we can't.
I think all of us were just ready to go to bed. It had been like an emotionally taxing day, and we just wanted to wake up and see the Mexican shoreline and, you know, jump on that shore and have a margarita.
Girl, do your husband know that
This wasn't the, this ain't to be stated.
it's a
But
drunk?
when I woke up, I was
You got
like,
a drunk
oh,
and a thought.
oh,
Like, that's
oh,
all
shit.
they care about on it. Like, oh, we finna lose
Where
our
the hell
lives.
is Mexico?
Is there some dingling on the ship?
And a drink. Please don't forget the drink.
Very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did manage to get
And don't
some
forget the
sleep
random
last
stranger
night
that
despite
you need to
these
sleep
challenging
with.
conditions. The tugboat is scheduled to arrive at 12 noon today. I'll talk to you soon.
They irritated me.
Man, they didn't
The
defect
next
the
morning we
damn
woke
boat.
up and everything had changed. I went down to the lower decks and saw and smelt and felt the air of sickness. Here are the infamous movements.
Why did you go down there? Yeah.
And then
Nah, he getting on my nerves. Nah, he pissing me off now.
The next day morning,
That's why he on there by
threw away
himself.
all the perishable food and started to make sandwiches, onions, tomatoes, whatever we
That's the food line. That's 2 of 4 food lines that wrap around.
You would have to wait in line for 2 hours. But when you got up to see what it was that you were waiting on, it was like a soggy bread and tomato lettuce sandwich.
I took a complete turn from the first day where you walk around and there's food everywhere and there's ice cream machines and there's pizza.
Thank you.
Suddenly, people were very much like in survival mode. Everyone's out for themselves. They're in line to get food.
The hoarding on board was ridiculous. People just grabbing everything and sort of taking it like with them to the little camps.
Made me think that, now all these Americans somehow can feel what it was in dictatorship country where shit like this happens and it doesn't surprise anyone. Yeah, welcome to the Soviet Union, people.
It's like shantytown around here.
That's why they put. That's why they made this right now. This ain't got nothing to do with this damn shit.
Over chairs and making tent cities. And so
I
there was a
peeked the
rush
play,
to get a
man.
deck chair, and people were tugging and fighting. This is my area. These
Stay
are
woke.
my people, and don't come messing with us.
All of a sudden, we look out and we see another ship. I was like, this is it. They're gonna save us.
Sorry?
One of the other sister ships, the Legend, was close by and they stopped by and helped us out. It was more food supplies than anything. Because logistically and safety-wise, you can't just walk 4,500 people from one ship to the other. Like, it's a huge procedure. It's lowering boats, having a small percentage of people jump on board, bring it across, tie it up, and transfer passengers. Not an option.
They're just taking pictures of us like we're the freak show in the middle of the ocean. And they're partying, they don't stop dancing.
They're
Why
doing the
not?
YMCA, and I'm over here popping Imodium.
We're like a scenic detour on their cruise.
Yeah.
Basically.
She went over there dancing.
Right.
They are really close.
That was the beginning of like this aha moment where we thought, hey, can we get a Wi-Fi signal from that boat?
We were all trying to get as close as we could to steal cell phone reception from it.
Everyone is out on deck, holding their phones up in the air, trying to get reception.
This can be bad, you know, because all people are going to try and do is call home or call whoever to let them know that they're stuck in the middle of the ocean, there's no power, and they're taking shits in red bags, you know.
Immediately, I called my mom.
I can't even begin to describe.
It's how he
I
thought that it
felt.
was bad
You know,
that
seeing
they was
her
gonna be
name
able to
line
call
up on
home
top.
too.
I
Like,
told her that the
yo,
electricity went off
capitalism
the
is
red
funny.
bags. I told her that everything was just going sideways.
I would never expect that Rebecca would be telling me she's having to poop in a red bag.
Just like how that lady was like,
something
oh,
that
I'm
came
so
out of a nightmare movie.
offended. They were having a good time and I wasn't. How could they? Bitch, because they not you.
Family members start actually reaching
The
out.
same reason why y'all got privilege that y'all can appreciate on a regular basis. While both of us be, you know what?
Press release. Like, wait, the toilets aren't working? Something about
Let's not even do that. That's not for this video.
having to go in bags, and I don't even. That's when we started saying, this is a story.
Girl, and then you ain't making no better.
4,000 passengers and
Shut
crews
the hell
last
up.
night stranded aboard a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico.
And that red
Here's
wig,
how
a
one
mess.
man's wife, who is on board the ship, is describing this.
There's no power. They're having to use the restroom in buckets and bags.
Suddenly, these stories began to appear about the conditions on board the ship.
A 4-day pleasure cruise has turned into a nightmare.
40 to 100 people floating, dead in the water.
Holy Christ, how did that happen? Now the cat's out of the bag. It's like the snowball has started to roll and there's no stopping it.
So y'all not worried about the people, y'all just worried about
Supplies are running low on board
other
and
people finding
emotions
out.
are running high as passengers wait to be rescued.
Every time there's a maritime disaster, I'm watching it, okay? You know, it's my business.
Look.
Well, I remember seeing the local news
Oh,
stories with
shit.
regard to
Look
what
at
was
him,
happening
like,
to these
yeah.
people. My hair was standing up. I was like,
That
what
boy
is this?
started
I mean, this is
scratching,
absurd.
rubbing his
These are
hands
paying
together like
passengers.
Birdman and rubbing his belly knowing he was
Carnival is one
finna
of
eat.
the largest cruise ship companies in the world. They're a global multi-billion-dollar business, but I knew that in those recent years, they had some problems with fires on other boats.
The smell of smoke began to fill the nearly 1,000-foot-long Carnival Splendor.
So when I saw this with regard to the Carnival Triumph, obviously my antenna was peaked.
You mean your wallet?
At that time, we built everybody up to getting every home relatively quickly, getting on land. And then I got a call from Shoreside, and they said the plan has had to change.
Oh. This shit get worse by
They told us that since we lost power, the ship had drifted over 100 nautical miles. Now we were nowhere near Mexico. So the new plan now is to take everybody to Mobile, Alabama. This is going to add on a couple of days at least. My heart just dropped out. I was just like,
Are you kidding? Like, that's an absolute disaster.
When we found out we were going to Mobile instead of Progresso, oh, that made everybody mad.
That was like getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
3 more days of this. It's
With
not
no
gonna get
margarita.
better. We're starting to smell urine.
Yeah.
Starting to smell the toilets. They weren't
Oh.
draining.
Oh my.
And so it would fill up the showers and it would just sit there with nowhere to go.
That's when we realized that we are screwed.
When Jen announces that it's going to be 2 or 3 more days, it's like, I don't know if I can hold it. I am not going to make it without going to the bathroom and having a number 2.
I'm not having it.
Bathroom alarm.
So
He
I
said
start
that
hunting
shit
for
like it was a
bathrooms.
damn cigarette.
Because there was a
I've never
rumor
smelled so
that
bad.
there were bathrooms and toilets somewhere
The only
that
thing
worked.
was the urine and feces, but from them not being able to wash their stuff.
Yeah.
Our toilets are
Okay.
But every time I walked into a bathroom, you open up the door, nope, that one doesn't work. Go into the next one, nope, that one's disgusting. That one doesn't work.
I really had to go. Number 2. And I found this public restroom and I go inside and it was the most nastiest thing I have ever seen in my life. People were covering the poop with the toilet paper and then again pooping on top of it. So it was a layer after layer after layer.
Shitty
It was like a
lasagna.
lasagna.
Did you say the movie?
Yes! Dookie lasagna.
Oh, great.
so the decision was made, let's open up the bar for free drinks.
Oh.
I was definitely against the idea of the open bar.
No, I know who was with it.
People would go nuts.
Don't we all?
Hell yeah, and then they gonna go crazy and be throwing up. Nah.
Having to use the bathroom more.
We were like, this is awesome. Free drinks. Let's go.
Yes, okay. Finally, something. It's something. Cruises are supposed to be fun. It's free booze. Let's go.
Like that ain't the only thing they cared about the whole time. It's something. Girl, that's all y'all wanted. And that's gonna make people more angry.
Everything was going great.
Nah, that just seems like a bad idea.
There's people urinating off the side of the ship.
They should have stuck to take the edge off.
I was like, oh shit.
People were throwing their red bags on the lifeboats. Somebody threw the poop bag and the wind blew it back on somebody sitting on the open deck.
Oh my god. Oh. And they don't got no running water.
It was a newlywed husband and wife. They were having sex right in front of me on the chair.
Oh!
I mean, there was no, like, you want a sheet to put over you? No, they were right there.
Oh my god! Hold up.
There's a dad.
Somebody threw the dookie bag and it flew back and hit somebody else.
You know, you feel so small because all this.
It felt like a small victory, right? Like we got a little bit of our fun back, and it took our mind off of the reality.
The dookie bag tossing would have did me in. I can't even lie. Somebody would have had to see me.
We were so excited when we saw that the tugboats had finally arrived.
Yeah, it's like this listing is gonna be nuts with video.
We were now on our way, but also the angle of the ship had adjusted and everything tilted to the side.
No.
Tugboats are pushing us. Hold on to your phone. Suddenly the weather turned for the worse.
Now I became very aware that this was probably the tipping point.
Oh god.
And that's the moment everything spilled.
Oh my god.
Oh, thanks for looking.
It's sloshing out here too.
What? Imagine everything that goes in a toilet, right? Piss, shit, all of it. It's just, you know, it's everywhere.
Right. Oh my god.
It got bad fast. Everything overflowed to the floor and just kept overflowing.
This the sound. Ooh. Oh my god.
You would be walking down the hallway and all of a
Cause
sudden,
like it's not water. You know it's not water. Right.
We were in excrement.
As soon as I jumped from my top bunk, I had water on
That
my
is not
feet.
water,
Oh
Steve.
my god. Like, we bothering my feet.
It was really bad. I
would have stayed
It
on
was
the top.
disgusting.
I would have outside to get.
Bruh. Y'all be. I don't know if I'm gonna try to put the scenes in the actual video or not, but oh my gosh. This looks crazy.
At that point, I was like, just get me off the ship.
I would have tried my luck with the damn sea creatures at that point. Ain't no way.
The overnight hours.
Walking around in doo-doo?
Coming in about the description
Mm.
of what is happening on this cruise.
Oh gosh.
There's sewage, rock sewage in the hallway.
There's shit and piss. Bacteria.
Now that's me.
This was like
On the phone.
holy shit.
Literally.
At this point, our new boss, Jeff Zucker, constantly looking to raise the ratings, made a decision to go all in on this story. It was a risk, and he needed to take a big risk. He was the new big boss.
It's
and we
shitty as
needed
hell
eyeballs
in
on the
here.
TV. The dream vacation has fast become a nightmare for thousands of passengers on board this Carnival cruise ship. Sewage is dripping down the walls. It was like wall-to-wall
Oh my
coverage.
Let's take a closer look inside this giant ship.
lots and lots of people in a little space here.
We would talk to maritime lawyers, infectious disease people.
E. coli, salmonella, shigella, these are all...
I might have even talked to a psychologist or someone to help us understand what it would have been like for these people to be in such an ordeal. You know, we'd be racking our brains trying to think of any possible angle to cover this story morning, noon, and night.
Every time I was watching it on the news, there was a report of more problems on the vessel. I said, my God, it's chaos.
Nah, that's worse than chaos.
So I started looking into it, and I was shocked.
I'd be devastated, bro.
In 2 years, there were 9 incidents of faulty fuel lines while these vessels were at sea that were potentially causing fires on board. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, so they knew. That's what I
It's
said.
called Russian roulette.
That's what I said. They already knew what time. It's just capitalism. It's just a check. Them people ain't nothing but dollars and cents to them.
At that point, I didn't know what day it was.
They was trying
I didn't know
to use the least
how many
amount of
days we'd been on
resources
the boat.
possible
I had no idea.
to handle
You
the
lose
situation
track of
so that
everything.
they wouldn't lose the money that they got from the
And
people.
so you just wake up to go to sleep to hopefully get back home.
Day 7 is crazy.
I think when you get stuck at sea like that, your mind wanders. And I think we just wanted to get back home. We were done. We were feeling cabin fever. There's nothing people can do. We're like captive to the problem. You feel like a prisoner.
We were just like doomsday. I mean, it was almost like Survivor, right? I mean, I remember at one point there was an older gentleman even setting up a Bible study.
Hmm?
They thought they was in.
Yeah. They thought they was going to the upper room for sure.
Really, really drag. You know, I just wanted it to be. I wanted people to just get off and go home and get in, hot shower, nice bed. And, you know, for me, I kind of just wanted a little bit of peace for me.
Definitely understandable. That's a strong lady right there, cause I would have been cussed everybody out.
We started to see more planes.
I would have got on that mic and they would have been like, "Is that the same Jen?" It was I'm gonna tell y'all motherfuckers something.
Just about 30, 35.
I ain't fucking playing. If I see you over there shitting off the side of the damn boat and pushing your ass in,
It got really bad and it went into the elevator and it started dripping so bad it sounded like it was raining.
oh my god.
The story metastasized, basically. It kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It just would not die.
You know,
Girl!
on Twitter, and you see that there's a freaking hashtag.
Read the
free ship
room.
from hell. You know that everyone's paying attention.
Like that. Some of the story wouldn't die. If y'all would have took care of them damn people, bro, y'all could have easily said some shit. Y'all could have sent an empty ship out there, an empty vessel, and told the people to get on that and brought their ass back. It wasn't even right. It wasn't even that deep. But if they would have sent out another vessel, then they would have been 2 cruises. They would have, man.
Nightmare trip on Carnival cruise ship's Triumph.
Stranded at sea, spending 6 days crapping into a plastic bag.
Yeah, I ain't getting
This
on
had
it
become
down.
a PR catastrophe. We anticipated it just being a complete media bloodbath.
Cause look at what y'all did with them people. Y'all didn't give a damn.
Here she is. Here she comes in now.
As soon as the ship starts pulling in, we see people are yelling.
Talking about it would have been hard to get 4,000 people. No, it wouldn't have. Not if they was desperate enough. They would have acted right to get on that other ship
Finally here.
and be like, y'all, let's treat this one a little bit better. Make sure that motherfucker don't catch on fire, cause we're not doing this again.
I just remember thanking the crew. I mean, where in their job description was picking up people's feces?
Yeah.
Nah, for
I
real.
will never take a private bathroom for granted again.
I was really proud of myself for getting through it. they're not cracking.
Good to get to land. And it was me, my soon-to-be father-in-law. We were like shaking hands and hugging and being like, we totally made it through this together, didn't we? And we didn't have to use a red bag.
Mm-hmm. No, he tore it off the hinges when he got home.
That ship never should have set sail. And these documents tell you that this vessel had a propensity for fires.
This was something that was totally preventable. So we definitely had a good chance. Problem is, you run into the ticket.
These passengers have no right to sue because Carnival's attorneys say when you buy your ticket, the ticket contract makes absolutely no guarantee for safe passage, a seaworthy vessel.
Oh my God!
Sanitary and safe living conditions.
Oh
You
my!
don't see that disclaimer in the commercial.
It's amazing. I think if most people actually knew that existed at the time, they probably would never buy a ticket. I certainly wouldn't.
I was about to say, one of her bachelorette. I ain't got the time. Not Carnival though. I know. You ain't have to tell me. Y'all ain't have to tell me Netflix. I already do. That Dookie lasagna you got to him. $115 million. Oh God. A full refund, a $500 and a free cruise. Yeah, maybe with somebody else. Wait, did they say that they say something about the living conditions? They had to. Okay, they took it out the thing. They probably just reworded it. They reworded that shit. I ain't beat. That was a good ass documentary, I swear. If you got Netflix, please go and watch that. Cause the visuals is what kind of really did it for me. But I don't plan on going on Carnival Cruise no time soon after seeing that. Even though I had not really planned, but I was thinking about it. But nah, I'm cool. I don't even. Hell no. But we're gonna find more docs and shows and movies to talk through, and y'all come back, and I'ma get that damn outro single. But for now. Bye.
Peace out.
Peace out.
I'm out. Yep, I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.